There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mistra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic. It sets your teeth on edge.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Mistra is a lesser goddess compared to Lady Shah. But if you have a chance to speak to her, you should seize it.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mystra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Not the message one hopes to receive from a past lover. But her first love was always the weave. At best, I was a close second. When I pictured this moment, I thought I'd feel more in control. Yet, here I am, with palms sweatier than a bugbear's armpit. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. I don't suppose you can imagine what it's like to have your god as your lover. It was intoxicating. An experience beyond expression. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm gonna have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. It's one thing for us to actually pursue the crown. I'm not entirely sure I want to threaten Mistra with the prospect on her own turf, so to speak. I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of 3 Dragon Ante. I'll let Mistra show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Casadors. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Carsite weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Casadors ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Casadors reforged, I could take control of the Carsite weave.
You can no more control the Carsite weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Casadors to me.
A great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on, as you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
The Karsite weave. I had no idea. Do you realize what this means? The orb is no stray piece of ordinary magic. It is something entirely different. The nascent form of a new divine power. Of course, I couldn't control it. I was mortal. But once I reforge the crown, the power of a god will be mine to command. The orb will answer to me. So do I. Though I'm not sure that's the purpose I'd apply it to. Let me assure you, Karsite Weave has no more inherent evil to it than a child in the womb, or an axe half forged on the blacksmith's anvil. It is a tool, ready to be shaped by its wielder, by me. And you know me to be someone of reasonably sound moral judgment, don't you? Gods, it's refreshing to share the company of someone who sees things the same way I do. All we need to do is stay focused on the task at hand, defeating that Elder Brain. After that, you can leave the rest to me.
So, Gale's hedging his bets with Mistra? I can't say I blame him. Who'd want to hold a power like the crown of Casadors in their hands just to hand it to someone else? I know what my decision would be, but we're all different, of course.
Mistra has forsaken Gale entirely. Imagine how he must be feeling. I doubt I could go on if Lady Shah turned on me.
I was hoping to bump into you sooner or later. I've heard about you. I know the so-called savior of the city has taken an interest in you. One thing I've learned, real saviors never label themselves as such. Lord. A fine title for the greatest scoundrel in town. Imagine wagging your big metal willies up and down a thoroughfares and calling yourself Archduke. Pathetic. He needs a proper challenge, and from what I've heard, you're the person to give it to him. I might not have exactly what you need, but I remain at your service. Have a look at least.
The cat seems to be trying very hard to remain aloof, and not wholly succeeding.
You are intruding in the palace of Casadors. Leave now, citizen.
The guard's words are clear, but spoken without thought or intent. Behind her eyes, you see nothing. She must be one of the charmed thralls Astarion mentioned. She pauses for a moment, but keeps her mouth shut. It seems you're free to enter.
Slim pickings up here, but safe. No one grabbing, no one biting. In the guts of the palace, hungry mouths down there.
Tonight is a sacred night. We are all blessed to be here.
Astarion, vampire dens. What should I expect?
Vampires would be a safe bet.
Hilarious. You belong on stage. Perhaps the blood-stained sort, with a hooded man standing by, axe in hand.
So long as there's a cheering crowd. As for vampire dens, I'd brace your nose. They can be very organic.
The Master is pure. His palace must be pure. No stain, no smudge, no taint. Pure.
Another guest for the Master's celebration. I'm afraid you're too late. You'll have to... Master Astarion? What are you doing here? Why aren't you downstairs?
Well, obviously I'm on my way down now. So if you could just point us in the right direction.
But you're too late. The doors have been sealed. The ritual is about to begin. It's too late. Godey has sealed the doors and will not open them until the ritual is complete.
Casador gave the key to Godey. And where is this sadistic old sack of bones?
It does not matter. You're too late. The Master will be so angry that you missed the ritual. He will do such terrible, terrible things to you. I do not have any more time to waste. There is too much to do, too much to prepare.
The woman's eyes are alert, verging on manic as she bustles about.
Everything's got to be right for the Master. Everything's got to be perfect.
I know you're there, Godey. Stop skulking and show yourself.
You always were sharp, little one. Sharp enough to cut yourself.
It's taking everything I have not to grind your rotten carcass to dust.
Don't be mad at Godey, child. I only did my job. Only kept you in line.
You tortured us. For days at a time.
Oh, yes. And you sang so sweetly for me. None of the others screamed like you did. But you're home now, and you brought me a treat, eh? A new friend for Godey. Not very nice. Not very friendly. Why are you here then, little one, if not to see Godey?
We're here to see the Master. But the ballroom door's locked. Give us the key.
No, it is too late. The doors are sealed on Master's orders. Godey will not open them for anyone, much less for you. Godey was wondering about that. Godey knows the Master was searching for Astarion. He must have forgotten Astarion was lost. Here it is. Now go to him. Help him achieve his destiny.
The door is covered in intricate text, but you can't see anywhere a key might fit. Only a small round hollow engraved with a family crest. It's written in archaic Kozakuran, a rare version of an already obscure language.
There are inscriptions like this all over the palace. Casador strictly forbade us from learning the language.
You can make out enough to recognize an incantation, but the specifics elude you. The ring slots perfectly into place, but nothing happens. However, you get a feeling from the door, as if it expects something else. A strange writing on the door glints in the candlelight. Perhaps it's significant. The door remains sealed, with naught to see but strange writing and a small hollow. Looking closer, you recognize the writing. It's the same Kozakuran script from the dictionary you found. The ring slots perfectly into place, and the door swings open.
You can't be here. No one in, no one out.
You're new. Casador never kept guard dogs before.
The runaway spawn. You reek of the Master's scent. Come with us. Come to Master.
Excuse me? I will not be ordered around my own house by some blow-in mutt.
We bring you to him. We get his favor.